Olá, bom dia. It is technically good afternoon, isn't it? Just after midday. Yes, in the British sense and others. However, if you're Portuguese, you say bom dia until you've had your lunch. There it is. Can you hear that? The klaxon of doom. And I've written about this for the Portugal Resident this week. I was in two minds, usually many more than that, but figuratively speaking, two minds about sharing this with the editor at the Portugal Resident. And I was thinking, this is a bit out there. It's not much to do with Portugal. However, it's hopefully universally beneficial and can be applied wherever you're living, whether it be Portugal or elsewhere in the world. And she came back to me and said she really likes it. So I'm so pleased about that. Sometimes it's good to take a risk, is it not? Thanks for joining me again for a bit of Carlm Unsen. And just wanted to say a little bit about how, well, who or what is in charge of our lives? Because I had that feeling again, or that reaction again. More of a reaction. I looked at my phone and it was 11:30 and I thought, oh, it's going to be midday. Don't feel like doing it today. And that's a very interesting thing to observe. First of all, because I could observe it. There's something watching all the time, isn't there? There's our awareness that's aware of what comes up, how we react. And often that isn't tangled mess. Our awareness gets involved with what it's being aware of, and so the awareness, the viewer, the observer, loses a little bit of objectivity. Typically, in an emotional reaction, the awareness perhaps gets consumed by the emotional state. And then, as I sat down in anticipation of doing this again today, I immediately I was aware of how relaxed I felt, because the conditioning has occurred. And I don't know if that's something that you can resonate with. If you condition your body to do something, it will generate the feelings it associates with that anchor or context or situation, in a way that someone's name or face could turn you into a rage, or alternatively, if they're a loved one, the very thought of them can stimulate other more positive feelings in the body. And I just thought that was wonderful, to be aware of how relaxed I felt before I'd even started doing this live now. I was aware of how relaxed I felt, and the relaxation I was experiencing sat in the chair as a result of just developing a habit of, what is it? This is the 9th day now. So that's good, and maybe worth pondering, considering. Not too much. Don't want to give you homework. Don't want to make you think. Excuse me. But who's in charge? The awareness ultimately is in charge, isn't it? The grand awareness, what is always there, witnessing, observing our lives, can be in charge if it's allowed to be. And that is, if it isn't taken over by what arises, by what it's being aware of, can be an overwhelming wave of experience and sensation. So you can lose that elevated perspective. So that's what this is about, is coming back to the elevated, transcendent perspective and viewing oneself, ourselves, being here right now. And the benefit of that, I would like to think, because I don't know, like I always say, I don't know what you're experiencing, and it's lovely to receive feedback and get a sense of whether this is helpful or not, and how it's helpful. And thank you, Jane, for your lovely comments. Really, really helpful, very encouraging, and I thank you for saying what's happening for you in relation to doing this exercise. Oh, we've got some help this morning. Come on then, come and join me for this. Come on, up you come. Right, so I've got a meditative cat with me as well. So let's feel the weight of the body on the chair. And also I can feel the weight of the cat on my lap now, and the feel of the fur in my hands and on my face. And I can just be aware of those sensations, and that's what I encourage you to do in this midday moment, is to, as best as you're able, to be in your awareness of what's going on and to simply see what happens as a result of that. And speaking for myself, which is the only one I really can speak for, and this is quite a claim really, having overcome myself and the reaction of I can't be bothered to do this, I don't want to do this, but doing it anyway, like we've been doing for the last 9 days. I don't think I've ever done this and thought to myself afterwards, well, that was a waste of time. Maybe I did that years ago, but in the practice of this exercise, and it's remarkable because you would think, wouldn't you, that any exercise that you do where you get a positive outcome, it would just be locked in. But it shows you as well what we're up against or what we're dealing with, that other things conspire to get into the way of what we know inside is good for us. And this, I trust, I hope for you, is one of them. It certainly is for me. I can't remember a single time where I thought afterwards, when pausing, I wish I hadn't done that. That was such a waste of time. So let's do it now. Feel the weight of the body on the chair. Feel the buttocks on the seat, perhaps. I'm having a little bit of a clench and really feeling my posterior positioned on the chair, and the weight of my clothes I can feel against my skin. And there's a lovely light breeze today, which I hope isn't affecting the microphone too much. And that light breeze is playing on my legs because I'm wearing shorts. I'm feeling the play of the breeze on my legs. And it is a play, isn't it? It's beautiful how it you can't see the breeze, but you know it's there when you experience it physically as a sensation. And as I scratch my face, I can feel that, and I can feel the air coming in and out of my nose, and I can hear sounds. You'll have heard that car presumably passing at the end of my driveway. Distant sounds of machinery, of industry, a breeze in the trees as well. And as much as is possible, open out, pull back, zoom out, and be aware of it all. Take it in without taking it on. Allow yourself to be an indivisible part of it, perhaps, and allow your awareness to embrace it all. Allow it to embrace you. The sounds of children, the sounds of life, a bag of household waste blowing in the breeze. All very beautiful, mundane, simply, beautifully mundane moments. Mundane in a neutral sense of the world. Mundane, mundane. And rest in the peace of that. And have a bath. Bathe yourself in pure awareness as much as is possible, and feel or be aware of the ease and joy and glory of that for a moment, if you will. And sometimes we're bound to sigh and express a sense of relief and ease. No harm in that. Can be a bit disconcerting if you're sat next to somebody on the bus who does it. But there are worse things. And hopefully you're feeling your shoulders drop, the momentum, the core, the guts that are just driving and challenging a lot of the time. Just coming to rest for a brief moment or two. And breathing out and letting it all go. Because whatever you need to attend to will come back. Whatever is yours will come back to you. And for a few minutes, be easy, be peaceful. So let's do that. Let's be proper peaceful. I'll stop talking for a little while and see if we can sink into the silence or the lack of added stimulation. It's not silent. actually quite noisy here in a way, but I can still be peaceful in that easy hubbub that's going on around me. So let's try that, and try that where you are. Ooh. You can really feel the drop in a good way. I actually feel it's the opposite of a facelift. I can feel that my face relaxing and just bloodhounding. Is the best way I can describe it. And happy to leave it there for now. And please don't let me hasten your return to the hurly-burly. If you're finding this useful when we do the check-in at around midday, prompted here by the bomberos alarm, the test signal, the kazoo of doom as I call it. And by the way, make sure it is the test and not actually a call to some sort of emergency, by the way. If you want to revel in that peace and stillness and ease after the recording, the live stream is finished, then carry on, just keep going and enjoy it. For what's the worst thing that can happen? That life will call on you and your living circumstances will bring you back into the flow of things, but why not enjoy some beautiful peace and stillness, given that we've broken the pattern, we've interrupted ourselves in a good way, and we're just being easy, being still. And if we are going back into our run of the mill now, if we're getting back, if we're putting our noses back against the grindstone of life, perhaps we can take that with us, if you like. Not in a grabby sort of way, but that peace. We can take that peaceful countenance, that peaceful awareness of life into whatever we're going back into now. And perhaps you can let me know how that is. Feel free to comment anytime on any of these. I'll see the message, and it'll be lovely to see your feedback. So wishing you well for the rest of the day. Peaceful, joyous, loving day to you, and we'll be back again tomorrow.